So raise your hand if you've ever seen the kid in the restaurant like this. We've all been there, right? You might have been that parent. In this video though, I want to give you some screen-free suggestions on ways to keep your child entertained out at a restaurant, in public somewhere where they're going to have to wait. And it's super easy too. Let's get into it. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Ginny. I am a certified teacher, doctoral candidate, which just means I finished all my coursework and now I'm working on my dissertation, and a mom of two girls, Alice and Mina. And in this video, I actually wanted to show you what is in my play kits that I actually keep in my car for times when I'm going to a waiting room of a doctor's office, or if I'm having to take my child into a restaurant and I don't want her to play on a technology device. How do I entertain her? So these are great because you can kind of take them and go wherever you need to, and it's also actually a good road trip bag too. So I want to show you what I include in here and what sort of activities that my girls can get into in these kits that stay in my car pretty much full time. So for some background before I even open these, my girls are almost 2 and about 3.5. So they're anywhere between 18 months to 4 years old. That's the age bracket I'm talking about that are probably going to be entertained pretty well by these bags. I also make a point to have them be fairly interchangeable so that if one child is bored with the stuff in theirs, we can eventually switch it. What I have in here though is not designed where you just hand the whole kit to them because, of course, children get overwhelmed by choices and we give them a couple of things at a time. But without further ado, let me show you what is in the first bag. So first things first about these, I literally went and I got clearance lunch boxes after the back to school sale in order to keep them in my car. So I got them for dirt cheap because I was looking for something that I could keep in my car, nothing fancy, so they both have Anna and Elsa, but it's kind of perfect, they're sisters anyway. Okay, so in the first bag, I have an I Spy board book. I love I Spy books and my girls love I Spy books, so this one was a really fun one to be able to include in here, and it's got kind of like small snapshots of the I Spy books. You can of course get the larger I Spy books, but for toddlers and littler ones, these are better. I will ask about these, but I will add my own questions too, because sometimes these tend to be a little too easy for my girls to find. So I could say something like, oh, how many things do you see that are red? Do you see anything that's red in this picture? So this is one of the things that is always a big hit that can be broken out of the lunch boxes. Something else that I include in my kit is a little notebook, and I got this I think from Dollar Tree actually, and a whole bunch of stickers. So instead of doing crayons and markers, I have done stickers because typically restaurants will give you crayons, but at least if they're like my kids, they get bored with them in about 5 seconds. So I like having this little notebook, and I will give them a sheet of stickers to play with, and then once they're bored with that sheet, I can give them a new sheet of stickers to play with. Sometimes I will even draw maybe a circle on the page, and I'll say, ooh, Alice, can you put all your stickers in the circle? Or why don't you put Goofy in the triangle? Just adding a little bit more depth to the toy rather than just, here's a book, put some stickers, you're gonna get bored in 5 seconds. But this is another one that I keep in here, and I literally just have the sticker sheets shoved in the middle of the book. Something else that I keep in my go bag play kits, and this is some people's favorite, some people's least favorite thing, is actually Play-Doh. I keep these miniature containers of Play-Doh in there. My girls love Play-Doh, and what I actually do is typically at the dollar store, or sometimes you can get them at Target too, and I'll link anything I can down below, I pick up these tiny stamps that you can use with Play-Doh. These sometimes come on that like off-brand Play-Doh as lids, so you can kind of see. So this one is a sea turtle. I include these in there for activities with the Play-Doh because obviously just a container of Play-Doh, yes, the possibilities are endless, but I find that my kids at their current age need a little bit of guidance on what to do with Play-Doh rather than just, here's some Play-Doh, entertain yourself. So I have 2 little stamps in here for Play-Doh. Something else that I have included in here, and some of this stuff too, by the way, guys, I split into both bags. So some will have Play-Doh in both, but with different stamps, sort of stuff. But I have a metal plate, which it might seem weird. I actually got this at Dollar Tree because it was cheap. Another way to do this though is if you get a metal tin lunchbox, you can do what I'm about to show you with that instead. I just was being a cheapskate and I got the cheap lunch boxes because they were on sale. But I include magnets. with all different words and pictures on them. And they're able to put the magnets on here, remove them, or I can put them on here and ask them to remove them, put them in the bag, out of the bag. But there's a whole bunch of different magnets in here with pictures and words, and they're all different and they're not anywhere at our house. So they're usually unique to when we're going out somewhere. And I make a point to do that because I don't want them to have anything in here that they have at home, because then it's not novel and interesting enough to distract them from playing with the silverware or the forks or whatever is on the table that you don't want them to touch. Oh, here are two more of the little stamps for Play-Doh too that I forgot about that are in this bag. So that was the first bag. Let me show you what's in the second bag. So in the second bag, just like the first one, I have that same metal plate because both of my girls sometimes like to play with the magnets. It's a great activity for them to do. You can see how they stick on here wonderfully and they're easy to pull off. I have a bag of different magnets than the other bag has. Basically, I bought one set of magnets and then I split them between the two different bags. I have this awesome lace up apple that I got from Target. It's really good fine motor practice, especially for Alice. And it's basically just a lacing activity where the child will thread the caterpillar through the holes and pull the laces. It's a really good entertainment activity for little ones. And this one I did get from Target for sure. As I mentioned before, I do have Play-Doh in here too, but I have different stamps. So like this one, I guess is a seal, but I have Play-Doh and new stamps in here so that the other child can play with Play-Doh too if they want to. Something else I have in this kit are these little, it's almost like these little screws and nuts. And basically what you do with them, they're color coded, but it's a good fine motor practice for the child to be able to spin it off of the top or to spin it down the top. So what I'll usually do is, depending on which child is playing with them, I might set them for Mina, like, you know, right here, and have her try to figure out how to get it off because it's not so far to twist. Whereas with Alice, I might challenge her to try to get it down to the very bottom or something like that. And these are usually pretty popular. I have them in 3 different colors and they have a matching corresponding piece, and it's another way to teach shapes too because they're all different shapes. The last thing that is in this particular play kit is some alphabet flashcards. I do try to switch these out as often as I can. I get them from Dollar Tree typically. These are some alphabet flashcards. I've put in here Disney character flashcards. It doesn't matter what's on them. It's not about it being educational. It's just like being able to look through some cards and being able to play with cards. There's lots of things they can do with them, but it's something tactile that they can look at with bright colors and pictures that is not going to create an enormous mess, and it's not a screen. Now, of course, that is not to say there's not times when nothing else is gonna work and you just have to go with that screen, and that is completely fine. Whatever it is that's working for your family is what you should do. But I did want to give you my ideas of some of the things that I keep in my car to try to keep my girls entertained and keep them off of screens. Now, we're not totally screen free at my house or anything like that, but I do find that I like to go for the non-screen activities first, and then of course, if they still aren't having it, then we go to the screens. Screens are like the in case of emergency break glass activities. We try to keep them that way. I hope this video was helpful for you in giving you some ideas of things that you can keep in your car very easily. It's not gonna go bad or anything like that, and there's a lot of variety and entertainment to it on a budget typically. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, if you have any stuff that you keep in your car that you find is just awesome for entertaining your child, I would love to know. Please tell me down in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate you watching and supporting my channel. It makes such a difference to me, and I really enjoy educating you guys. It is so much fun to me, and so sincerely thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your summer, and take care.